There is a moment we all face. You know the one. The moment when the floor simply drops out from underneath you. Maybe it is a sudden failure, a betrayal by someone you trusted, a loss so heavy it physically knocks the breath out of your lungs. In that exact second, the world feels like a violent storm, and you are just a fragile leaf caught in the wind. Society tells us that in these moments we have two choices. We can either break down and surrender to the chaos, or we can harden our hearts, become cold, and aggressively fight back against the world. But over 2,000 years ago, the Stoics discovered a third way, a secret path. They realized that true mental toughness is not about being cold. It is not about pretending you don't feel pain, fear, or sadness. That is just a mask, and masks eventually shatter. True mental toughness is about building an unbreakable fortress within your own mind. Think of a mountain. When a hurricane hits, the trees snap, the rivers flood, the earth is torn apart. But the mountain does not fight the storm. It doesn't scream at the wind to stop blowing. It simply remains still. The storm eventually exhausts itself, but the mountain remains exactly where it was. How do we become the mountain? It begins with a single quiet realization. You do not control the world outside of you. We spend so much of our lives exhausted because we are trying to control the uncontrollable. We want to control what other people think of us. We want to control the economy, the future, the inevitable tragedies of life. When you tie your happiness to things you cannot control, you are handing the keys to your peace of mind to a stranger. You become a prisoner to circumstance. But the moment you draw a harsh, unforgiving line between what is yours and what is not, everything changes. The economy crashes, not in your control. Someone insults your character, not in your control. But how you respond to that insult, how you rebuild after the crash, that is entirely yours. That is your inner citadel. When the outside world descends into chaos, you don't panic. You simply pull up the drawbridge. You lock the gates. You retreat into your own mind, where no one and nothing can hurt you without your permission. But how do you lock those gates when your emotions are screaming at you? There is a profound secret hidden in the human mind. Between every single thing that happens to you and your reaction to it, there is a tiny, almost invisible gap. A split second of time, someone betrays you. The gap. You react. Most people completely ignore that gap. They live on autopilot. They feel the anger rise, and they immediately explode. They feel fear, and they immediately run. They are slaves to their impulses. Mental toughness is the art of expanding that gap. It is the ability to feel the anger, the humiliation, or the panic rising in your chest, and instead of reacting, you just stop. You observe it. You look at the emotion as if it is a storm cloud passing outside your window, and you whisper to yourself, "I see you, but you do not command me." You cannot stop the first thought from entering your mind, but you are the absolute master of the second thought. This level of control does not happen by accident. You cannot wait for the storm to hit before you learn how to build a shelter. You have to train in the dark. This is why the greatest Stoics intentionally introduced hardship into their lives. Emperors who had access to every luxury in the world would sleep on the cold floor. Wealthy merchants would dress in rags and eat stale bread for days. Why would they do this? Because comfort is a slow poison. It makes us soft. It makes us terrified of losing what we have. But when you voluntarily step into the cold, when you choose the harder path, you strip away the fear. You look at hardship and say, "Is this what I was so afraid of? I can survive this." When you practice voluntary discomfort, life can no longer threaten you. If life takes away your wealth, your status, or your comfort, it doesn't matter. You already know how to survive without them. And this leads us to the ultimate peak of Stoic toughness. It is a concept called Amor Fati. The love of fate, not just accepting the bad things that happen to you, not just tolerating them with a heavy sigh, but actively, fiercely loving them. Imagine a fire. If you throw a small candle into the wind, it blows out. But if you have a roaring bonfire, you can throw dirt, dead wood or garbage into it, and the fire doesn't just survive. It consumes the garbage and uses it as fuel to burn even brighter. When life throws heartbreak, failure, or tragedy at you, a weak mind is extinguished. But a tough mind says thank you, because every obstacle is simply a chance to practice virtue. A difficult person is a chance to practice patience. A failure is a chance to practice humility. A deep loss is a chance to practice courage. Nothing can defeat you because you turn everything into fuel. So the next time you feel the weight of the world pressing down on your shoulders, the next time you feel the panic rising or the urge to break down, remember the mountain. Stop wishing for a life without storms. That life does not exist. Instead, start building your inner fortress. Start expanding the gap. Start turning your obstacles into fire. The play of life is unpredictable, but your performance, your resilience, that is entirely up to you. If you are ready to stop being a victim of circumstance and start mastering your own mind, subscribe and join our journey.